Welcome. This is Bitcoin Day Trading, the best Elliott wave analysis, episode number 48. Today, I'm going to talk about the chart of Bitcoin and my last analysis. I've came up with an alternate bullish count, but it's still only an alternate count, which means that it's less probabilistic as the main count, which is still bearish. So we're going to take a look at both those counts and we're going to discuss it together. But first, let me remind you what I already told you in the last episodes, that we are in an extremely bullish position right now on the higher time frames. So if I take a look at the 1 week and the 1 month charts, they are screaming to me bull. So they are screaming to me price will move up. They're screaming to me that it will break up and it will go much higher. So I've told you that already, but I'm reminding you that because, and that's my first reason, is the higher time frames are extremely bullish. And I've told you that a couple of times already. And the second point I want to point out is that seasonality tells us that November and December should be also extremely bullish months. So I'm expecting prices to move higher. Now, that being said, I will take a look first at my disclaimer and then we'll take a look at the charts together. So here's my disclaimer, please read it so that you are aware that there are risks involved in trading. And if you are interested in my services, then I offer a live Elliott wave update service for 20 USD a month. You get 1 to 3 updates a day. Most of the time it is more than that. I think I didn't have any day during the last 2 weeks where it was only 3. I think it was always more than 3 updates. They are very analytical and they give you more information than just my brief intervention on YouTube. So if you want to learn more about Elliott Wave, if you are a trader or you just want to learn more, and I highly recommend you to subscribe to my live Elliott Waves updates for 20 USD a month. If you're interested in that service, join my free Telegram group and contact me and tell me that you are interested in that service. Then I will provide you the instruction on how to become a member. Right now, I'm still admitting new members. So if you are interested in, just let me know. And that being said, we take a look at the charts. So I'm going to start with the 3-hour chart. The 3-hour chart is still my main count, and my main count is still bearish. So my main count still says that we had a wave A here, a wave B up here, and that we should accomplish a wave C. We're going to talk about if wave B topped here or if wave B could go a little higher when we take a look at the smaller time frames. The alternate count would be that from wave 3 up here, we had wave 4 and wave 4 bottomed here. And right now we are going higher. But this count has some problems in it. And the first one is that part of the correction, I can hardly label it as bullish because it looks extremely 3-wave-ish. So I can hardly label it as any form of impulse wave. It looks corrective. So that's hard, which would mean that I actually would have to put wave 4 here for my bullish count. And that also I don't like because then we don't get the bottom, but we get a higher level for the end of the correction, which sometimes happens, but it's not the most likely outlook. So for both of those points, I don't like too much the alternate count, but it's still an alternate count and we're going to take a look at one possibility for that alternate count. But my main count, and that's still the most probabilistic, is still bearish. And I'm still waiting for wave C to accomplish of wave 4. Now we are going to take a look at the smaller time frame. This is the 30-minute chart. And on the 30-minute chart, I can zoom out a little to show you more. So we had an A, B, C for the first move down. Then we had an A, B, and we could have done the wave C. And if that's the case, the first part of the correction is wave A, as you can see. And the part that we might have accomplished is wave B. And I'm still waiting for wave C down. It's still my main count, and my main count is bearish. So now let's take a look. Let's zoom a little in and take a look at what happened recently. The last move up and the correction that follows. So I'm going to talk about this part of the last move that Elliott BTC did. Here I was trying to extend the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up, the impulse wave up for wave C. Wave C has 5 waves in it, and I was trying to put an extension in wave 5, but that didn't work out. So I went back to my normal count, which is for now, as you can see it. And if we had wave 5 here, we are now correcting. So normally what I would be waiting for is a 5 wave down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like this. And 3 cannot be the shortest wave here. It looks like it might be the shortest wave, but it cannot be. So I'm looking for something like this, then a correction for wave 1 of the correction, then an ABC, and then a wave 2, and that up to wave 5. So I'm looking for an impulse wave down. But if I look at this, it looks correct. It looks like an A, B, C, with C maybe being a failure. And that would mean for the bearish count that we could still go a little higher. And that I would have to put wave B farther away. So that's still a possibility. So from here, it is hard for me to say if it's a leading diagonal that is unrolling, or if it is just a simple ABC and we go higher. Both possibilities stay open for now. What would be interesting is if we break that level, the 65,211, if we break that level, it would confirm that wave 5 has stopped and that we are going lower in wave 1 of wave C, because this is wave B, and it could be wave 1 of wave C. But we need that level to give away, and we need price to drop. If instead of that, as I told you, price go higher and go above 68,527, then this is only an ABC, and we go still higher. Then I have to rethink about the wave C, how I will label it. And there's a way also of labeling it differently. And if I can zoom out, I can show you. I can try to show you. But there's a way of labeling it differently, and I might switch to that label during today. And my private clients will know it in my Telegram channel, my private Telegram channel, as soon as I do. But there's a way of labeling it differently. You can label it as, let me do it differently. I don't want to make a mistake. So let me take my indicator and show you. So you could label it and you could label it as following. No, let me think again about it. I think there's a possibility of labeling differently. And the one I'm looking for is if you put a double V here, maybe an X here, a double V here, an X wave here, and then a wave Z down. So that's also a possibility. And that would allow for wave X to be only 3 waves. So I could put 1, 2, 3, and it would allow me to go higher. And I could put an A here and a B here, and then a C up there, you see? And it would allow me to go higher. And then still you would get a wave Z down. So I'm not, there are different ways of labeling it and keeping it as this move as only either a wave B or a wave X, and still looking for lower prices that follow. I'm just wanting to tell you that because my count that I'm showing you right now might switch to a different count during the day. I'm not sure that I can keep it. I will try to keep it as an A and B and then a C wave down as long as possible. And I will try to, if we go higher, to see if I can somehow put an extension on the labeling, but maybe I will have to switch back to the W, X, Y, X, and Z count. Maybe I will have to switch back to that one. I already had it on before, and maybe I will have to switch back to it. I'm just telling you that because there are different ways of labeling it and maintaining the outlook as bearish. And for now, my bearish count is still the most probabilistic count. But as I told you at the beginning of this intervention, I'm looking for higher prices on the higher time frames. So what I want is simply my Elliott wave giving me a good entry price and telling me that the risk of us going lower, going below 58,100 is low or has disappeared. Because if I take, for example, a short position here, and then this was the top wave B, and we have still to accomplish wave C, okay? And I mean a long position here. If I take a long position here right now, and price drop during the wave C, which is probable, as I see this, as I look at when I look at the charts. If price drop, then since I will take a day trading position and they are highly well leveraged, that drop would liquidate my position. And if not, I would have to have a stop loss. But here, the only stop loss I can think about is that. And that would be still a stop loss close to my liquidation point. So for me, the risk reward is not high enough, it's not good enough to enter a long position. So I'm waiting patiently to get, so that my main count switches from bearish to bullish. I'm waiting patiently for that. Because if I take a long position at the wrong moment and my position is highly levered, which will be the case for a day trading position, then it simply will get liquidated or close to liquidation. And I don't want to take a loss when I can prevent it. And what would be bad is that if you get wave C here, and then you still go high, your position gets liquidated here, but you still go higher. So your outlook was actually right, but wave C does take you out and you take a loss. So I'm not doing that. But that being said, I do three things in the markets. I'm a swing trader, I'm a day trader, and sometimes I take a scalping positions. Now you have to understand what my definition is of swing trading, day trading, and scalping. It's not the same as other traders. I have my own definition. It's just that for me, it's easy to call a very short time frame trades that I keep for maybe a couple of hours or a couple of days to call them a scalp. That makes sense to me. Day trading are positions that will hold longer, let's say maybe a couple of weeks, and my swing trades can hold up to 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 months. So for me, it makes sense to call them differently. And I call them swing, day trading, and scalping. But here this is Bitcoin day trading. So I'm talking about day trading position. And if I take a day trading position here, and we will still accomplish wave C down, then the probability that my position gets either liquidated or is close to liquidation when I exit it for a stop loss will be high. So I'm not, and so the risk reward is not good enough for me to enter a day trading position. My swing trading rules are different, and I still have open position on swing trading rules and also on BTC. And since we had this impulsive wave up, those swing trades they are long swing trades and they do extremely fine. If we go a little higher, my target will be hit and I will exit my my swing trades. So I'm just telling you, it's not because I'm waiting for the opportunity to enter a day trade that I don't have right now open position to the long side. I do, but my rules for my swing trading are different than my rules for my day trading. And here I discuss with you day trading. That's why it's called Bitcoin day trading. If you're interested in my rules in swing trading, because you think that swing trading interests you more, and in swing trading, I can live through that correction and then go higher. And that won't get me out of my position because it's a different kind of position. It's taken differently, it's taken at a different moment, and the leverage is not as high. So I can wait through such a correction without it affecting me, without my position getting into a danger zone. But that's for swing trading. And here I'm not discussing swing trading with you. I'm discussing day trading with you. If you're interested in swing trading, you have to become a private client of mine. And you tell me that you would like to know my rules about swing trading. And then I will explain it to you. I will tell them why they exist and why I trade that way. And if you find them good, and if you think you can follow them and they fit your personality, because the trading you do must fit your personality. I've developed my own rules for swing trading, for day trading, and scalping. Those are my rules. I've developed them from experience, from trading, and I've developed them from all the books I've read about trading. And I've read a lot of books, hundreds of books of trading, and I'm still reading new books about trading. And they gave me new ideas. And that experience combined, and my research made my rules for day trading, scalping, and swing trading. Those are my rules. No other trader on earth will have the same rules. We might use the same indicator. We might use the same Fisher indicator for the triangles, and we might use Elliott wave, but the rules of trading that I follow will be different than any other trader on earth, because those are my rules. I find them good, and I understand them, and I trust in them, and I will follow them. Those rules are maybe not perfect for you, but even if they're not perfect for you, they will give you an idea, and they will tell you what a real system is from A to Z. And once you know that, you can take from my rules what you want, and you can amend them. You can add or subtract some things. But if you do that, and the general purpose of the rule must be maintained. By that, I mean, you still must have an entry price. You still must know when to enter your position. You still must have a stop loss. And you still must have a target, knowing exactly when you will exit the position. Okay, you still have to have all that. And on plus, and then there comes the psychology aspect and the risk management that you also have to work on. So trading is not as easy as just following a trading indicator like Elliott wave or Fisher. It's much more complicated than that. So I'm telling you all that just that you know that I'm waiting for the opportunity. In my best case scenario, if we accomplish wave C, and then I'm waiting for my main count to switch from bearish to bullish. And when that will happen, accompany it with Fisher being bullish on the 3-hour chart, then I will enter a long position as a day trader. But for now, I can't, because the risk reward is not in my favor according to my analysis. And now we have talked a lot about the bearish count. So let's also take a look shortly at the bullish count I came up with. So I've tried to give you an alternative, and that's why it's called an alternate count. Okay, and I've tried to give you a bullish alternate count. So let's say that wave 4 already finished. Here you have wave 3. Up here you have wave 3, and let's say that wave 4 finished. Actually, I've done a mistake on my alternate count, because I've placed wave 4 here when I should have placed it here. So I'm doing sometimes small mistakes on the charts. I have 1 or 2 traders who see those mistakes and tell me, and that allows me to correct them as soon as possible from my private client. And I really appreciate the work he does. By looking at those kind of details. So here, I'm labeling as a wave W, a wave X, and a wave Y. And I'm labeling this as a new impulse wave down or up. But there are some issues with that labeling. First, I like when the bottom of the correction is the lowest point. So I would like to have the bottom of the correction here. That's why also I put it here. But with that count, I have to put it here. So I would like to be on the bottom, the end of the correction, the lowest point. That's the first thing that I don't like with that labeling. That the low of the correction is this point instead of this point, of this level. And the second thing that I don't like with it is that, as I told you, you could simply put an X wave here and a Z wave down here. Okay, so you move the W X Y X Z, which is possible, and it will tell you that you still have to do a Z wave down. And in that case, you would simply label this move, instead of labeling it impulsively, you would label it in a corrective manner. And that you would do by putting an A here and a B here. So not just for the correction do we not have the lowest point, since we stop the correction here, but also the up move, the ABC, is could be labeled an ABC, so it could not even be impulsive. So it makes the probability of this bullish alternate count just low, and I cannot trade it. It's just an alternate count. So I cannot trade that alternate count. But that being said, if we get an ABC here and then a new impulse wave up, then it would tell me maybe that this is wave 1, this wave 2, and that we are in the process of accomplishing wave 3. So this would give more weight to the bullish alternate count. And once there is enough weight in favor of the bullish alternate count will become my main count, and it will be then my main count, and then I will just be waiting for Elliott wave to give me a good entry, and I would go long. But for now, it's still an alternate count, and it still has a less probability than the main count, which is still bearish. So we simply have to wait and see how things develop from here, because if we wake up to new all-time highs, it will of course make the alternate count more probable, and if we go lower, it will make the main count more probable. So right now we are in a position where I don't know how it will develop, but I'm still favoring the bearish count as my main count. That's why also when I update my private members of my private channel, I mainly focus about the bearish count. So I will talk 9 times out of 10 about the bearish count, and I will only 1 time out of 10 talk about the alternate count, because it is a less probabilistic count. So I'm showing it to you, and I'm explaining you why it's not my favorite count. I'm just showing it to you as an alternative. Okay, I think that's enough for today. In my opinion, it went quite well. I hope you enjoyed it too. And I'll see you tomorrow for one more update. But as always, you can do me a favor by hitting the like icon. And I also invite you to join my free Telegram group to have a second way of communicating with me in case something happens with YouTube. And of course, if you're interested in being a member of my private Telegram channel, where you receive normally more than 3 updates a day, but I only promise you up to 3. If you want to be a member of that private channel, just tell me, and I'll give you the instruction about how to become a member. You can pay with cryptos, of course. It's the only way I accept people to pay the subscription fee are cryptos. And I appreciate if you could pay me in Bitcoin, because it's I think it's the best for me, and it's also the best for you, since the transaction fee are extremely low. And I find it unreasonable that you have to pay up to 30 USD just for a subscription that costs 20 USD a month. So I don't find that reasonable. So I invite you to use BTC as a payment method. And if you're interested, if you still absolutely want to use an altcoin, I will provide you that altcoin address, my altcoin address, if you still absolutely want that. But I think it's better for us all if you use BTC. Okay, thanks for watching again, and see you tomorrow for one more update. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.